Hi, sweethearts. I want to tell you how I got the name Spirit, because I think that very often people assume that it's some kind of spiritual ego thing, and I can assure you that it's the opposite. So I'll start by saying that since I was born so disabled with many of my organs paralyzed and not working, the doctors always thought I just couldn't live. So all through my life, they were always saying, oh, you have a month to live or a year to live or whatever. And I was really good at not paying attention to that because I kept on being more and more alive. So at a certain point, though, I went to a doctor and he said, oh, you couldn't possibly live more than 3 weeks. And actually, I was kind of, maybe the word would be relieved, because I was in so much pain and I wasn't getting to be and do what I wanted to do with my life. And so I just came to peace and I started making out a will again. But luckily, my dear husband was not so at peace with it, and he actually screamed at me, I did not fall in love with you for you to die. So we lived in those houses in San Francisco that had the flat roof. So one day he picked me up with my oxygen machine, carried me upstairs, not so gently, put me down on a futon and said, you find a reason to live and I'll be back in an hour. So I felt, I guess, guilty, like, I love this man. Why would I leave? But this was an intense life, and I could remember what life could be like with the full glory, the full love. And I wanted that. But I thought, well, I'll just try something to tell him that I tried. So I imagined that on my flat roof, that my radiantly healthy spirit walked towards me. And there she was wearing my red robe, looking beautiful and alive and radiant. And she was carrying a red rose because snow had grown roses for me. And she came up to me, and I won't tell you the whole story, but the short part is that she said, in past lives, and I didn't even know if I believed in past lives, but she said, in past lives, when you got to this stage of power, this much love running through you, most of the mystics died. They just let go of their body. They did what's called ascending God. And they let go of their body because they didn't want to go through another crucifixion or being burned at the stake or, all that stuff. And so it felt better to leave. And so she said, that's what's happened to you in your past life, and you've done that over and over again. So now you were even born just assuming that you were going to leave. And so she said, and this is the important part, she said, instructions have changed. And she said, now the world is somewhat, another important word, ready for you, ready for this much love. And so I want you to practice, instead of ascending God, of lifting up above your body, I want you to practice bringing the spirit down, descending God into every cell in your body. And because of this, I want you to call yourself spirit so that you remember that this alive person that you are is there because the spirit lives inside you. So my husband came back upstairs. Oh, and I do want to say that, just so you don't think that I was totally delusional, which I might have been, but anyway, I knew that my radiantly healthy spirit wasn't alive, but at the same time, she was more real than anything I'd ever felt, and she was what I was trying to die to become. And so anyway, my husband came upstairs and he said, oh, you look better. We should do this again tomorrow. And the next morning I woke up and I could walk And I didn't even have to do healing, like I ran up 2 blocks up the hill. I gave away my oxygen machine that day, and from then on, people called me Spirit. Thank you.